Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? It's another Halloween episode. Today we're going to go over how to draw a werewolf face. Drawing werewolves is awesome. I love that stuff, from the lichens and underworld, from even that really bad Van Helsing movie with Hugh Jackman. That that werewolf design was really freaking awesome. So I want to go over how to draw that. I'm going to go through it step by step, and I want you guys to kind of follow along if you can. If not, you can just watch it, and hopefully you'll learn a lot from this. If you do learn a lot from this, hit that like button, and let's get into this. So first thing I do is I'm going to actually use this. This is almost like a black colored pencil. It's called a Nero Hard. I guess it could be just considered a black kind of Prismacolor looking pencil. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and start with large shapes. I'm not really going to erase all that much with this pencil, so I'm going to be drawing thin. Forgive me. Hopefully you can see this enough, and it'll get dark enough, don't worry. And what I want is the snout sticking out, and that's kind of it's a big cool thing, that people love drawing when they draw wolves and werewolves. They love drawing it roar or whatever, like howl, well, howl would be different. And I'm going in here and I'm putting it in block by block. See how I'm throwing this line? I'm thinking of directional planes and just throwing them in here, and I'm going to alter them as the drawing goes on. One thing I've noticed is that some people consider just a drawing in general as a series of these mistakes you got to put in. So you got to put in these lines to know that it's wrong, so then you can adjust it. You have to do that. I mean, sometimes you'll get it dead on, or you'll adjust the rest of the drawing as so, and that's great. But don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's very common practice through the whole thing. You're gonna have to, if you look at professionals draw, like real professionals that work for Disney, or if you concept artists, if you see any of that, they are constantly reworking stuff. So getting it right from the first time, is very kind of unrealistic, and there's only very few people I've seen that do that. Going here with the nose, I'm putting in mostly placements right now, and I'm gonna have an eraser next to me. I'm gonna honestly, what I really need is a kneaded eraser, but I ran out. If anyone wants to donate a kneaded eraser, let me know. That'd be great. I would love that. Well, they're cheap. They're super cheap, but I'll get one later. Changing the position of where the eye is going to be. Ear. I'm thinking of the ear. Remember, you're thinking in simple shapes, especially off the bat. Alright, gonna look into the fangs here. Bottom teeth. Tongue. Again, we're thinking in placements. So if you're to build a building, you don't just go right into the the window sill, or like all the cool stuff. You start out with the framework, and then you start building in that framework. So think of this in the same way. You're building up this drawing. And I do this all the time in my personal work. If you've ever seen my personal work, go follow me on Instagram. I have it linked. The other thing I'm on Patreon the most. I highly, obviously recommend you guys do that one. It's a lot of private drawings that I post, and I give you like a free ebook if you sign up for $2. I give you this ebook on how to draw skulls, which I worked hard on, and if you put a little bit, there's obviously tiers to it. If you give more, you'll get more, of course. There's an entire hair drawing program that I give you just for as soon as if you donate $10 or $5, I think if you donate $5. I'll give you this entire hair drawing program. So check that out if you have time. That's what I'm on the most. That's my hub now. Going in with the nose. Now I'm going to go into the eye. The eye is kind of at an angle. It's angry. But it's also leaning, kind of looking forward. It's not looking out at us. That's a very common thing with when you draw people as well. When people tend to draw other people, when you're brand new at drawing and it's a side view, they have the eyeball facing out toward us. And it has to be facing straight. The general rule, like it's not a rule obviously, it's just kind of like a most of the time kind of thing, is that predators tend to have their eyes facing forward. They have to look forward. Even if it's like near the side of the eye, their eyes are angled forward. And because they need kind of that overlapping depth perception to hunt, to kind of grab out at stuff, to jump on stuff, to really time their prey, because that's how they survive. And with, you know, prey animals like cows and deer, you'll kind of see their eyes are like more to the side of their heads, generally. That's to like look out for predators and stuff like that, because they're being hunted all the time. And if you're like a deer in the forest, you're pretty much in danger all the time. But just kind of keep that in mind. You know, look at cows, look at, you know, llamas and stuff like that. And again, that's a general thing. You know, not every animal's going to follow that, but most do. Most absolutely do. So just kind of be aware of that. One thing to studying animals is studying biology. Really try to do that. If you love drawing any type of animal, get into biology, get into the whys. You know, like, why do they do this? Why do they do that? How did they evolve that trait? That will really help the realism in your drawing. In small ways, you'll notice, you know, certain things. For example, let me give you an example of that. So, slit pupils, for example, those pupils that are like very thin, like those snake eyes kind of thing. Those tend to be on animals that are lower to the ground, because that slit, what it does is it gives you better vision from up to down. It's kind of a stripe. And that's really only found on smaller animals, because smaller animals have to look up a lot. They have to keep their vision up. So, like something like a velociraptor or something wouldn't have that. You know. And that's kind of what they did in Jurassic Park 1. They made it more monstrous, but, you know, they're like, hey, why'd they put that pupil? It's a style thing. But if you want to be more accurate, it's cool to kind of know, you know, the rule of that, to not do that. You know, don't put that on your large animals, but, you know, it looks cool. Like some giant dragon designs will have it, which is fine. But, you know, again, if you want to be picky, don't do it. And it's cool. It's a really neat thing to kind of see people that are like, oh, that guy understands it. That guy or girl understands it. So, going into the eye here, I want to make him look angrier. Let me the eye a little bit more forward here. Oh, I know what it is. There's a furrowing at the top of the snout that I wasn't putting in here. There I go. Let's go in. There's some light toward the top of the nose, so I'm going to shade in the rest of the nose. Not too dark. Teeth in the back here, teeth shape. I'm gonna darken in the inner part of the mouth. And going here to the tongue. All right. So let's continue. Going over here to the ear. Ear's got a bit of a little point on it. Pull down. It has some fur attached to it. There's fur all over him, but you want to pick your spots, like right here, where it flares out, because you're not just gonna have this big, bushy, giant thing. You know, it wouldn't read. It wouldn't read as an image. What we do as artists, we take reality and we kind of interpret it for an audience to look at, because they're putting it to paper. You know, we're not photographers. It's just a different thing. You know, you have to translate it. This kind of like the filter of your mind, and this is your style, right? Your style is the way you portray it. The little things you bring to it that are unique, that only you can. See back. Some little hairs here. And I'm gonna vignette this so it ends in a kind of attractive way. I'm going to throw a little bit of a shadow pattern down here toward the bottom. And I'm going to end it over here with kind of this flaring fur. You can add as many of these as you want. Depends what you think is appropriate. And I'm going to maybe connect these to the shadow pattern down there. Maybe make a few more of these for the back of the jaw. See, that's very obvious where that ends and where the just kind of fur begins. They're almost like landmarks, you know, with landmarks with bony protrusions. I've talked about that. It's almost like that. Bring in smaller lines. Bottom here, throwing in shadow pattern. And that's kind of it, really. That's kind of how you construct a werewolf head. I hope you found that very valuable. I hope you found that I hope you learned a little bit of something here. If you did, please hit up my Patreon. And like I said, for $2, you get a really awesome ebook, and you get to see all these posts that I don't post anywhere else. and also a free sticker. So go check that out on my Patreon. I hope you enjoyed this. I will hopefully see you guys soon in the next video, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.